All right, so let's dive right into it today, huh? Chelsea, Chelsea. Reece James, he's back, maybe, but like, how's that hamstring really doing? And then there's this Cole Palmer. This guy is on fire. We've got articles, analysis, the whole 9 yards. So should we just get right into it?
Yeah, no time to waste. It's a fascinating time for Chelsea.
Yeah.
They've got this young squad, a new manager trying to make his mark, and then there's Reece James, captain, star player, but can he stay on the pitch? Big questions for sure.
Let's start with the good news, right?
Uh,
Reece James, back in training. That must be music to Chelsea fans' ears.
oh, absolutely. Seeing him back at Cobham, even just training, it's a huge boost. But and there's always a but with Reece these days, isn't there? It's that same hamstring that's caused him so many problems. Chelsea's being super cautious.
Yeah, I read they're aiming for him to play just once a week, at least initially. Which, I mean, when you look at this schedule, especially with Cucurella and Fofana both suspended.
Right, those yellow cards are coming back to bite them. And they need Reece now, more than ever. But this hamstring situation, I mean, the stats are pretty alarming when you really dig into it.
Lay it on us. How bad is it?
Well, over the past 2 seasons, you know how many games Reece has actually missed compared to how many he's played?
I'm guessing it's not good.
He's missed more than he's played, more games missed than played because of injuries. And this time, it's not just the immediate injury. There are these rumors, right, that medical professionals are telling Reece he should think about playing in a warmer climate.
Yeah, to protect that hamstring long term.
Yeah.
Which leads us to, well, the rumor mill's been working overtime.
Yeah.
Barcelona, Benfica. Have you heard anything concrete?
Nothing concrete, no. Lots of speculation, but no official word from either club. But even the thought of Reece leaving.
Right, because this is Reece James we're talking about.
Yeah.
Mr. Chelsea, captain, fan favorite, lifelong blue.
Exactly. This was supposed to be his season to really cement his legacy at Stamford Bridge. Now, suddenly, who knows?
Tough situation. And for the fans, too, you know. I mean, I remember seeing those banners last year. Reece James, he's one of our own. He's practically royalty at that club. But then again, if a move is what's best for his body, for his career.
It's a real dilemma. And it throws a wrench into Chelsea's plans for the season, doesn't it? If Reece isn't a guaranteed starter every week, if his availability is constantly uncertain, that changes their entire approach.
Okay, so we've got this cloud of uncertainty over Reece's future, his fitness.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the bright spot. Cole Palmer. This kid.
Wow, he's been a revelation. I mean, exceeding all expectations. He fits into Chelsea's system like he was born to play there. And the stats.
Bonkers. Goals, assists. I've seen the comparisons to some big names in Premier League history. Salah's first season, Andy Cole, even Klinsmann. And it's not just hype. He's on track to have one of the most impressive debut seasons we've ever seen.
And you know what's really impressive? It's not just the talent, it's the attitude. No arrogance, no showboating. He seems so grounded, especially for someone his age.
He's got this quiet confidence that people love. Look, he just won England Player of the Year. Fan voted, by the way.
Yeah.
He's not even been with the senior team for a year.
Tells you everything you need to know about his impact, the connection he's already built. It's special.
And it's not just the fans here. It's the young players coming up, too. You've got Estrella, the Brazilian kid, who'll be at Chelsea soon. He and Palmer are already tight, doing each other's goal celebrations. And Estrella talks about him like, well, like he's the example to follow.
It's like this really cool passing of the torch kind of thing happening.
Right? And it all points to this new era at Stamford Bridge. I mean, Chelsea, they've got the youngest squad in the league by a mile.
By far. And it shows in the way they play.
Which is?
Well, let's just say they're not exactly known for playing it safe.
That's one way to put it. But we'll get into all that craziness after the break.
Yeah, it's definitely a case of like controlled chaos at times, you know? But who steps up when that chaos needs a bit of, well, controlling, especially if Reece isn't there?
Good point. That leadership void, that could be a real factor in how their season plays out. I mean, you've got Thiago Silva, right? He's been there, done that.
Yeah, he's a legend. But even Thiago Silva can't defy Father Time forever. And let's be honest, he's one of the few left at Chelsea with that Champions League winning experience. They need his leadership more than ever, especially now with Reece's situation up in the air. It really makes you think about their whole transfer strategy, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, they've got Gusto, right? The young lad they brought in. He's been impressive filling in for James, looks like a real talent. But there are these whispers that Chelsea are already thinking about other right-back options just in case.
So basically, they need an insurance policy, which, I get it, Gusto's good, but Reece James at his best, I mean, that's world class.
Absolutely. And if there's even a chance that they can't count on him being fit week in, week out, yeah, I can definitely see why they'd want a backup plan.
Okay, so let's bring it back to this weekend. Liverpool, huge match, big implications for the table, and there's a chance Reece might be back.
Yeah, potentially. No guarantees, obviously. But even if he's only fit enough for a limited role, just having him back, that presence, I think it'd be a huge psychological boost for Chelsea.
They could definitely use it. Let's not forget, they haven't beaten Liverpool in, was it like 5 Premier League matches now?
5, yeah. And with Cucurella and Fofana both out, having the captain back, even just on the bench, it could make all the difference.
For sure. And let's be real, this Chelsea team, they seem to love that underdog mentality, right? Remember a couple seasons back when they had that transfer ban?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they were written off by everyone. And what did they do? They came out with this fire, this chip on their shoulder. Some of their best performances in recent memory came during that period.
Totally. So maybe this whole Reece James saga, the doubts, the uncertainty, maybe it actually works in their favor.
It's possible, that us against the world mentality. It's powerful stuff. And you see glimpses of it now, don't you? They're the youngest team in the league. They've got a new manager trying to find his feet. Their captain's battling these injury doubts. And yet, here they are, exceeding expectations. There's a swagger, a fearlessness to their play.
Oh, they're exciting to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But, and I hate to be that guy, but there's a thin line between swagger and, well, recklessness.
There is. And that's where we get to the whole disciplinary issue. Because Chelsea right now, they're racking up yellow cards like it's going out of style.
It's actually kind of insane when you look at the numbers.
Insane's one word for it. They're on pace for, get this, 146 yellow cards this season.
146?
If
Seriously?
they keep going at this rate, yeah. And
Yeah.
the current record is 105. I mean, that just shows you.
So what? Are they just a bunch of hotheads? What's going on?
Some of it is just, well, they're young. Their average starting 11 age is nearly 2 years younger than any other team in the league.
So maybe it's just a case of youthful exuberance.
Could be. But it's definitely something Maresca has to address. Because while you don't want to stifle their passion, their energy, this isn't sustainable. They need that controlled aggression, that tactical discipline, especially if they're serious about competing for trophies.
No, because they're going to be up against it soon enough. Liverpool at Anfield. That atmosphere.
Brutal. And we've seen it time and time again. That kind of atmosphere, it can rattle even the most experienced players, let alone a team as young as this Chelsea side.
It'll be fascinating to see how Maresca approaches it,
Yeah.
Does he try to rein them in?
Yeah.
Tell them to play it safe? Or does he just unleash them and, well, let chaos reign?
Knowing Maresca and his attacking philosophy, I'm thinking he might just let them off the leash, which honestly is part of what makes this Chelsea team so compelling, right?
For sure. Unpredictable. A bit wild.
And they clearly don't back down from a challenge. But whether all that translates into sustained success, well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It really makes you think, doesn't it? Like, can they actually bottle this almost chaotic energy and turn it into something that lasts?
Which brings us right back to this whole youth movement thing.
Yeah.
Right? So it's exciting. They're breaking records. But are they in over their heads? Can Maresca turn this, I don't know, this potential into something truly special?
Ah, the million-dollar question. It's easy to have talent, to have energy, but to shape that, to create a team that can actually win titles, that's another thing entirely.
It's like they're playing with house money now, exceeding expectations. But the pressure is going to keep building. And those yellow card issues, how do you even begin to fix that without, killing the vibe?
Right. It's a tough one. You see moments, even in their recent games, where they show they can be disciplined, controlled aggression, all that. But it's got to be more consistent. They can't rely on individual brilliance and last-minute goals forever.
And that's where Maresca comes in. It's interesting, though, because we're actually hearing some good things from inside the dressing room. Remember that Romano quote? Something about the players loving how direct Maresca is?
Oh, yeah. Like, they know exactly what he wants from them.
Exactly. And that's huge, especially for a young team that's still figuring things out. They need that clarity, that belief in their manager. And it sounds like, well, that's something they maybe didn't have with the last guy.
Night and day compared to what we were hearing about Potter. Remember all that stuff about his instructions being too vague, the players feeling lost?
Yeah, it seems like Maresca's just a much better fit for this group, at least in terms of, communication and style.
He's definitely brought a sense of purpose, They have a clear identity now. They're pressing higher, playing with more urgency. And, this is important, they're having fun. You can see it. When they celebrate, how they interact on the pitch. And that energy, it's infectious.
And you can't discount the Cole Palmer effect either, right? The guy's a fan favorite already, and those stats. We're talking about one of the most impressive debut seasons the Premier League has ever seen.
And it's not even just the numbers, right? It's how he plays the game, the elegance, the vision. You don't see that too often, especially at his age.
He makes it look effortless, like he was born to play on this stage for this club, and the way he's connecting with the other young players, building those relationships, man, it really feels like something special is happening at Stamford Bridge.
The new generation, writing their own chapter. It's exciting stuff.
No doubt about it. So there you have it. The Reece James saga, the rise of Cole Palmer, those yellow card shenanigans. Chelsea, a team bursting with talent right on the edge of something big. But, as always, only time will tell what the story will be. Until next time, keep diving deep.